Let's dive into the idea of finding direction in life. You know, it's like when you're driving down a road and you suddenly have to make those split-second decisions. How do you figure out when to turn left or right?
Oh, wow. That's such an interesting analogy. When you think about it, life really is about making choices, right? So how do you actually find your direction?
Exactly. It's like mapping out a journey for a road trip. You make a plan, but you also have to stay flexible. There could be construction or a detour that pops up unexpectedly. This year, I feel like so many people are really facing those unexpected challenges.
Yeah. It's almost like we're all navigating this giant maze of choices, isn't it? And I know you mentioned he is between us. That sounds a bit like a relationship metaphor, doesn't it? Like obstacles can just pop up.
Absolutely. Relationships can feel like a winding road too. Sometimes there are external forces intervening and affecting that closeness. You know, speaking of connections, food really brings people together. I absolutely love local cuisine. There's nothing quite like it.
Ooh, local food. That sounds delightful. So, do you have a favorite type? It's funny because last week I had a friend over and he was like super unhappy because I served Italian instead of his favorite, Mexican.
Italian is good too. But it really highlights how food can influence our moods. Imagine someone calling you up just to complain about a terrible meal. That can really set a tone for the entire day.
Haha, yes. Oh, or like, what if you're having dinner and someone who isn't happy shows up? That could be super awkward. Like, do you think a high rate of dissatisfaction, like in our choices, could lead us to seek comfort food instead?
Definitely. The rate of discontent can dramatically impact our decisions. It's interesting how possessing something, like owning a car, can entirely shift our perspective. Having that freedom allows you to explore local food spots.
So true. But, what if it's about turning off the light in a dark moment? Should we worry about missing out on experiences? Because, I feel like sometimes we get really paralyzed by our choices.
Oh, for sure. It's like standing in a dark room and forgetting that the switch is right there. Sometimes, we just need a bit of guidance to illuminate our path. Oh, speaking of guidance, you mentioned having 7 books, right? They can be incredible sources of wisdom.
Oh, wow, yeah. What if each book represents a different pathway you could take in life? That's so super cool. So, do you think you have a favorite book that, taught you something truly significant?
Absolutely. There's this book about Japanese culture that I absolutely adore. It opened my eyes to lessons of respect and harmony, which is really different from a lot of Western customs. That perspective has reshaped my understanding of relationships.
That's fascinating. I love learning about different cultures. But, how do you apply those lessons, say, in making deals in business? Is there, a technique you found works really well?
Yes. When making deals, understanding respect and effective listening is crucial. For example, filling out forms on a project. If you rush through it, you might overlook some key details. Engagement stems from careful consideration. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. It's like, spring is my favorite season, you know? Everything bursts back to life again. And when you engage properly, it's like a flower blooming. Just beautiful. Engam, how do you keep that engagement alive when things get tough?
Simple. It starts with showing genuine care for others' feelings and experiences. If someone approaches you softly or hesitantly, you should respond with warmth and understanding.
I love that idea. It's almost like you're making room for dialogue. It's just so comforting, even on gloomy days, right?
Absolutely. It's all about connection and nurturing those interactions. Perseverance in engagement can truly uplift everyone involved.
It makes me think about how important it is to keep that spark alive. Like, have you ever experienced a time when you just felt that magic of connection? Oh, I'm curious.